Hello everybody, my name is Aceface. Today we're going to be doing some more T5 Abyss alpha clone testing. This time we're going to be going for an active tanked Gila in a T5 Gamma. You can think of it, this is like supposed to be focused on the way I do T6 Gammas. So I actually personally like to run T6 Gammas in a active tank ship because it's nice to have that little bit big buffer in the Gamma sites when you're like going up against Charybdis Tyrannosaurus, wrecking shots and that kind of stuff. So like having an active tank ensures you have like a very high HP per second, but then also at the same time you have a decent amount of buffer as well. So I think I like that style of going for active tank in the Gamma sites, and that's exactly what we're going to be doing here with this Abyss fit right here. It is a pretty bling fit. It's not cheap. The point here is that I'm using this alpha clone right here, or this alpha clone trained character, to be able to find a way to do T5 Gammas or T5 Abyss at all, like decently well. Now the reason I went for T5 Gamma as well is because T5 Gamma on average earns a bit more ISK than T5 Exotic, and also the filaments cost about half the price of the T5 Exotic, so that's why it's a bit more profitable to do these. It is a bit slower than T5 Exotic though, because T5 Exotic you won't have that bonus to, you know, shield HP of enemy ships, and you also have the bonus to the kinetic missiles on the Gila, which is favorable in the exotic sites where you have the, you know, reduced kinetic resistance. We're going to be doing this, try to do this as quick as possible, the same way I do the T6 Gammas. I'm going to try to do the T5 Gammas as quick as possible. Obviously we've got less DPS because this guy is only trained alpha clone skills. But we're going with the Republic Fleet Valkyries, the most powerful drones you can use as an alpha clone. And we're going to go straight into this. This is a dual shield booster fit because you can get more HP per second. Usually I'm a bit hesitant on the dual shield booster fits, because they don't give you that dual multi-specs, and the dual multi-specs are nice for wrecking shots because you're going to get like a bigger effective buffer from dual multi-specs. Thing is, 2 shield boosters usually gives a lot of like HP per second. So when we're in the Gamma sites, and we're also T5 but not T6, working shots won't be like as big of an issue as if we were doing, like, for example, T6 Firestorm or T6 Exotic. So we'll go to the safe right here and get straight into this. Now, this is a dual cap battery fit as well, with a dual Thurifer cap batteries. This is really good for newt resistance. We're cap stable here at 4.7 gigajoules. Turn off one of these guys, we get 26 gigajoules, so it's really good capacitor. Plus, we've got 2 of these, so there's like really good newt resistance going on right here. And then, like, say, so for example, in the beginning of a wave, we'll have full capacitor, we'll use both of these shield boosters. Then we're starting getting neutered out more, we can just turn off like one of these shield boosters because we won't anywhere need as much tank since we probably destroyed a lot of the significant DPS, you know, in the beginning of the wave. So we're going to use a Flux Coil right here. I wanted to use a dual, like a triple drone damage amplifiers. The thing is, it really helps. With a capacitor, it really helps having this Flux Coil. As an alpha clone, you're pretty limited on your capacitor skills compared to Omega clones. That's why I'm going to be using that. Otherwise, it definitely be a possibility. I'm going to use some very cheap boosters right here. Synth Blue Pill and Agency Hard Shell, this costs, I think, $1 million. This costs like a few 100,000 ISK, so hardly anything. Lasts for, I think it's 40 minutes? Yeah, 47 minutes or 48 minutes with the skills this character's got. So these will give me a bit of a boost to my HP per second. So here, 230 HP per second. We're going to go straight in. Chaotic Gamma, let's go. Organize my modules a little bit. Alright, easy wave. The rogue drone wave. Let's just go and jump straight into it. I remember before when I was using that passive fit for the T5s, it was a bit of a problem with the rogue drones. They were doing a lot of damage, but here it's probably going to be super easy since we have so good HP per second. I'll go to the bioadaptive right here. Now the thing is, the main issue we will have, or the main challenge we will have, is time. We want to do this in a timely fashion, make sure that we do not die to the timer. So we want to be really careful in how we spend our time in the Abyss right here. So I'm not going to do very few like little trails to these extraction nodes. We're going to just go straight for the bioadaptive cache, get in range of our missiles, so we do damage with our missiles as quick as possible, just so that we can get all our DPS going on all the time. We have got some implants in this fit. Thing is, alpha clones, they can't use the full like crystal sets or like just implant sets, you know, that boost properties of your ship, so it really limits the shield boosting capabilities. If we were to able to use the Omega implant, it would be really powerful. If we go in here, see here, high grade crystal alpha, beta, gamma, delta. but we can't use the Omega and one of the other ones. I think it's Epsilon or one of the other ones, and it actually makes a big difference with having like the full set and not the full set, how much extra shield boosting you get. So we've also got some other implants as well. These capacitor management and power grid management. This boosts my capacitor recharge rate, and this power grid management enables me to fit this because I have a bit of a power grid issue. Because 2 cat batteries uses a lot of power grid. I think I could go for the Caldari Navy rapid lights. They use less power grid. The thing is though, they're very expensive, so just having that one power grid implant really helps. I think it's a pretty good sacrifice to having the Caldari Navy rapid light missile launchers that cost a ton of ISK. I think each one Caldari Navy rapid light missile launchers costs like 100 million ISK, something like that. Save a lot of ISK. Okay, wave almost destroyed. We can even stop using 2 shield boosters just so we have like a bit of a buffer of capacitor, so that when we come to the next wave, we'll have as much like reserve capacitor as possible. You have to think like that a bit when you're using passive tanks. Like, you might want to make sure you have a big enough reserve of HP of shields before you go to the next wave. In the same way we're going to think here with our capacitor as well. Recall the drones. Reload the missiles. 3 minutes. Jump BD jump. The worst waves are going to be the Ephialtes and the Charybdis Tyrannos in the gamma sites. They have big shields. They're going to be amplified even more. And this is exactly what it is, or not exactly, because then we've got the frigates here. Frigate Ephialtes waves are easier than the full Ephialtes waves. We will deploy these drones. Go for perhaps the Wardens. Actually, we'll go for Ephialtes. I think that'll be better. There we go. Split these guys up a bit. And have our missiles help a little bit. There we go. Use the dual shield boosters. I don't even know if the dual shield boosters is really going to be needed, because the Ephialtes wave, you have very low incoming DPS. Very low incoming DPS. It's actually quite chill right here. And one thing with the fit, if you're curious, I've got a thermal shield reinforcer. Reason is because many deadly waves in the Abyss, I mentioned this a lot, but many deadly Abyss waves, they do thermal damage. Triglavians, Concord, they majority do thermal damage. That's why it's very useful to have a good thermal resist, even if we're not in like the firestorm or something like that. It's very useful just overall to have a strong thermal resist. And it's also quite like amplified by quite a bit, because since we're only using one multispectrum shield hardener like this, so there's not going to be as many, like, you can think of it, diminishing returns, because the more resist mods you use that affect the same resist time, the like more diminishing returns you'll have. So since we've only got one multispectrum shield hardener right here that's affecting our thermal resist, that rig is going to be a little bit more effective than if we were to have 2 multispectrum shield hardeners. Will give us more bonuses. And poppity pop, come on, poppity pop. How much buffer do we have? 5.7k. Oof, a lot of shields. Because the Gila has a really big shield, natural shield buffer. Really powerful. Lock up all these guys. Split the drones a bit. The best missile type to use against Ephialtes is the Inferno Furies, because they have so low natural resists. Even if their explosive resist is reduced from the gamma site, still better to use the thermal ones, because they do more damage and the resists can hardly play any role for these guys. Nova Fury. I'm going to put Nova Fury going on, so that Nova Fury is going to be best against these like little frigates right here, because they've got a bit more resists. It's going to play a bit of a bigger role than compared to like the Ephialtes guys, who already hardly have any resists. Keep at range here. Come on, drones, do your thing. Are they getting webified? I feel like they're getting webified a bit. It does go a bit slow in the beginning of an NPC with a shield base like Ephialtes. Ephialtes has a tiny bit bigger shield than its armor. Then it's further amplified by the gamma sight, so it is going to take a bit of time in the beginning. Might want to go for these Fire Watchers. We're getting neutered out slightly, but I mean we can just go with one shield booster now since there's hardly any DPS left on the grid. Shoot with this rapid light missile. Oh, he's actually regenerating a bit of HP. It might be good to focus, to be honest, because these little frigates, they do have remote reps. And then we move this little these drones to these guys. Yeah, we might want to do something like this. Just focus them. Yeah, there we go. Good. Let's pop them straight away with the Inferno or Nova Fury light missiles. Just insta-popped. Okay, what is it time now? First wave did it in 3 minutes. This is now it's gone 4 minutes. I think it's alright. I think you will have problems when there's a full Ephialtes wave. That would honestly be the best test. Or Kerbis Tyrannos with minus 50% explosive resist. That'll also be the best kind of time test. I think it might be able to get it through. Because again, this is a test. It's not tried and tested fit. But my DPS in my Gila that uses, like, has got a Mega Clone and all that kind of stuff, it's able to do like 600 something DPS, the one for Gamma Sights, so we're still like, it's not that much less here, and we're doing T5, so it's obviously going to be less NPCs here. Okay, now this is a trick here, just when exactly when cycle, oof, there we go. Now we get the Infernos, because I want to have the Infernos for going for the Ephialtes, since Infernos are better for Ephialtes. So usually I'll just automatically reload, then just like click it at the last second so that it can give the reload of the ammunition type we want. Little trickster, the trickster. It's unfortunate we can't use something like Augmentors or T2 drones. You used to be able to, but you can't anymore, otherwise it would help with the speed. These Republic fleets do a bit less damage. Okay, now it's just cruisers left. Cruisers. How quick have we been? So we had started at 17 minutes. It's soon gone 6 minutes. Oh, that's actually not a good time, actually, because 6 minutes and it wasn't even like a wave which had like a full Ephialtes wave. This is only a partial one, like half-half. It's not a good sign, actually, in terms of time. Tank is good, but time, not the best. So it might be worth to find a way to put like the triple drone damage amplifiers right here, because we get that extra damage right there. Might be putting like a capacitor control circuit here. Then we would have good capacitor, but we'd have like less HP per second. Might be a possibility with like some strong boost or something. I don't know. But it seems like time is not the best. Like, okay, now it's almost gone. It's gone over 6 minutes right here. We can recall our drones as well. Our missiles will take care of this guy. Recall, please. There we go. Jump to the next room. We took 6 minutes and 15 seconds. This is not a good time. Okay. Lucid Watchmen, Lucid Firewatchers. It's not too bad of a wave. They like a medium time takes, medium to low time, so it's alright. But it definitely does say, based on that previous wave we had, that we'd need to have a bit better DPS to do this comfortably. Because if it was a full Ephialtes wave, it would have probably taken quite a bit more longer time. We would need to have more DPS, so at least lessons are learned, you know? When you do these tests, you learn new things. Triple drone damage amplifiers probably would be a good idea. Alternatively, we could switch to the T5 exotic. And if we go for like the triple drone damage amplifiers and T5 exotics naturally take a bit like a quicker time or faster time to complete than the gammas. And then also, if we have the triple drone damage amplifiers, it'll be even quicker. And a good thing about the exotic sites is that there's hardly any NPCs that do explosive damage, so we will sort of be a little bit tankier depending on which wave we're up against, because the only big ones that do kinetic damage are the Abyssal Overmind, and he's usually pretty easily speed tanked, so it's not a big issue there. Kinetic damage is like the most useless resist to have when you're up against the abyssal entities. That's why stuff like the Kikimora or the Ikitursa, I mean, names sound quite similar, quite easy to mix up. See here, it has like a perfect resist profile for the abyss. Biggest is thermal, lowest is kinetic. Like that's the best type of resist profile you want in the abyss. So it's like as if it was made for running abyss sites, the Ikitursa. The only issue is that it has a bit of a problem with completion time because of the way the disintegrators need time to spool up. Otherwise, it is really excellent in terms of tank for abyss space, that ship. But I mean, we've got a bit of time to spare. It's not like too bad. I mean, we have to always remember that the first wave was a very quick one, so we can't just think, oh yeah, we've got 8 minutes to spare. It's fine. No, what if it was 2 of the previous waves? Then we would not have much time left. What if it was 3 of those big Ephialtes waves? Then we might have problems, and it will. Sooner or later, it will happen. It has happened to me that I've got a triple curved Tyrannus spawn in T5 Abyss. If you Google even on my YouTube channel, you can see there's a video I made a long time ago. Triple curbed Tyrannus spawn in T5 Abyss. So I was doing T5 Abyss, so it was not that bad. T5 is a lot easier for me, like as an Omega clone, to do than T6 Abyss. So I didn't have problems with time, but still, like, what I'm trying to get at is it's definitely possible to get like 3 of the bad waves you do not want to encounter at the same time. Even though the likelihood is low, it's still possible. And just always remember that your ships, if you're using an expensive ship, you want to aim for pretty much perfect completion rate, otherwise it's not going to be worth it. And if you're using cheap ships, then yeah, this will be worth it. But this is not a cheap ship right here. So we're going with the bling to be able to do this consistently as an alpha clone. Lucid escorts, we'll use the preservers for last. They go completely still when you've destroyed all of them. And your drones hit them like a truck because they don't know what to remote repair. These guys, they like to remote repair, and they always go together as well. A bit strange how they always go together like this, but that's what they do. And you'll see they'll just sit still when this escort right here has been destroyed. We'll get the perfect application going on. Poppity pop. Come on, there we go. And also these like sleeper frigate waves, they're not affected by the gamma sight at all in terms of like the shield boost, because they have no shields. They only have armor and structure, these guys, so it is not like affected to the degree that you have Ephialtes waves, because they are shield based. These guys are completely armor based. Nothing left. Smashes, you see that? The drones really show no mercy to these guys because they're very still. I think our range doesn't hit, or just about. You can even recall. Yep, there we go. Okay, and the time was 14 minutes. 14 minutes, it's alright, but again, that first wave was easy. This one was medium. So time is the main issue. Time is the main issue. I'm just thinking, like, could you try to go for a fit in the future with the triple drone damage amplifiers, but this is a problem with doing gamma sights in the T5 level with alpha clones, because you're going to have that problems where you don't have the skills to get the good DPS or the skills to use the Tech 2 drones that really provide meaningful DPS increases, and you're going to have then issues with the completion time. But anyway, I think we learned some lessons at least from that. Learned what is maybe possible, what is a little bit less likely to be possible, what are possible improvements for the future of doing T5 Abyss's alpha clones. If you have any like suggestions or cool ideas, let me know in the description below. If I get around to it, I'd be glad to testing out your guys' ideas as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. I'll catch you guys later.